And we're recording on both fronts. Okay. Hi, my name is Sid. Welcome to my video journal, as I would like to think of it. I want to use this platform, this lens, to talk about my photography, projects, works I got going on, and even for videos on film discussion. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time, and I'm now getting to it. So here we are, and I'm glad. Just recently turned 25 this year. Big ups to that. And so I wanted to go to Chicago for my birthday, or I just wanted to go somewhere. And I seen that an acquaintance of mine I had recently done work for over the summer, Sango, Caribbean DJ, producer, not notably because he has other things, but notably the producer on In My Room by Frank Ocean. Recently found that out myself, and I've been enjoying that song even more. But I recently did work for him over the summertime, and I saw he was having a performance, as well as another associate of mine was on the performers list. I hit him up, seeing if I could possibly just grab media of him that day. Not necessarily get a media pass. Ultimately, yes, is what it came down to, the media pass. But takes photos of him that day, before, during, and after the whole event of that day. I will say I do like concert photography, but I'm definitely more of a lifestyle type of photographer, and I would rather do conceptual as well than concert. But nonetheless, hit him up, and honestly within 5 minutes he got back to me, letting me know that he would have a media pass for me and some extra tickets. I did end up paying for 2 tickets. I think it's just great to show support for artists you're a fan of or getting acquainted with, whatever the case may be, but just showing support where you can, aside from just the work you do. So paid for 2 tickets, got some free tickets, had some friends join me for the weekend. Big shout out to Emmy, my friend in Chicago. She hosted me, my friends, and my sister for that weekend. A real one, honestly. Shout out to my friends who came out for the weekend, left our town to go to Chicago for a fun time and also celebrate my existence. That is greatly appreciated and has been appreciated. So honestly, it was a great time all around. Okay, cool. I want to talk a little bit more about my experience shooting for the performance. Let's see. I'm actually gonna look at photos while we go ahead and kind of talk about what that performance and experience was. So there were only 2 performers before Sango going up. Were Savon as the opener, Rochelle Jordan as the second performer, and then obviously Sango. Savon is a DJ from, I want to say, Grand Rapids. I've been to a couple of his shows in the last 2 years, and I've really enjoyed his sets. So when I saw him joining Sango on that tour, I was like, oh, I definitely got to pop out, show some love, have a great time. Rochelle Jordan, I don't really know of, but I enjoyed her set a lot. Craziest thing, a fight broke out during her performance. She immediately cut that shit off. Nipped it right at the bud. All I can do is respect it, like, honestly. I think no performer just wants to see something like that go down. So kudos to her for responding fast to that. But her performance was great. And then at the end we had Sango, and that was super fun. Near the end of that performance, I remember my sister and I ended up on the floor, and floor as in, floor, and we were pretty much just dancing for a good half of the set, I'd want to say. That's something I'll never forget. So great memories to throw in the chamber. The portraits that I got, I feel like, are not my favorite, and I will say it was due to my lack of, I'm gonna say, equipment. Like, yes, my camera is taking good photos, but I think I would have preferred to shoot in a venue like that with a flash handy. And I'll be putting the photos up, and you'll probably be like, okay, these aren't that bad. I'm gonna be throwing up a lot of landscape shots. I love this, I I love this backdrop I have from Save On, Giving Weather. I love the color, has his name. That's pretty much it. A lot of the palette here is dark and red. Even in some of the other photos you're gonna find, the palette's just really dark. Most of the light was coming from the LED screen in the back, and some lights overhead. But a lot of times those lights did not change. So the venue was fairly dim for the most part when I was shooting with my camera. I'm gonna just be throwing up some photos of Save On. Here's the nice portrait of Save On that I really like, where we're not seeing too much of the background. It's kind of like a great big shadow, and it's kind of creeping up on him if you can see it on the jacket. And then we have a great amount of like lighting coming from the left here. I really like that. It's all red, something about the red and the black, a little bit of blue in there. It just works for me, something about it. I can appreciate this photo. I am lowering the highlights so that we can see what's actually being shown on the screen behind him. Without that, a lot of these photos actually were looking pretty flushed out. I had to definitely increase some of these shadows, even tweak the saturations a little bit. Again, a lot of the color I kept getting, or even not even just the saturation but the colors, but a lot of the colors I kept getting were just black across the artist. I guess it made the photos feel repetitive and almost boring as a consumer, if that makes sense. I think most people wouldn't even mind if they were just looking at these photos, but as someone who, if you take over 100 photos and all of them have the same kind of color and lighting, depending on what it is, I mean, you're not gonna like it so much. At least I haven't been the type to. So here, yeah, these are a few of the photos from Save On. Not that many. These were definitely ones that I've enjoyed. Clearly, I'm gonna, showcase them. Rochelle Jordan, I really love this performer. I thought their energy, I thought their singing was great. The way they carried themselves on stage, again, even immediately stopping a fight that broke out, like, that's just respectable. Kudos to her and her team. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of the photos I took of her. I just think the colors weren't my favorite. My framing wasn't the best, and that is disappointing, and it is unfortunate. And I can only just use this as a learning lesson to, I guess, do better and be more mindful as well of things like my framing, my lighting, my settings. Not that I was altering my settings too much across the artist, but this is just something to keep in mind, right? I'm still probably just gonna throw up some photos on the video from Rochelle's performance that I got, just because I do want to showcase something. And maybe in the video I'll even showcase some video footage that I have. I haven't looked at it or edited yet, but I know if they're good enough in terms of the audio, I may just be throwing it up. So, love Save On set. Sango definitely took the cake. Aside from the music, I think the memory really carries it pretty well. Again, I was able to be on the dance floor with my sister, and we just vibed out for a good 30 minutes or half the set. So that just took the cake for me. But I got a good amount of photos of Sango. I enjoyed these photos a lot, actually. And that's the thing, the palette on these photos are also very similar in the sense where, where I'm looking at a lot of oranges, I'm looking at a lot of greens, and they're pretty dark. But nonetheless, I think these are really great photos, and I'm gonna be throwing them up on the video here. An interesting photo, or photos that I think are interesting, I'm also gonna be incorporating. Do I think these are the greatest photos or photos that I think are worth advertising for the idea of showing a skill set? No. But these are photos that I think are interesting to me personally, either due to lighting, framing, color, whatever the case may be. And there's this photo right here you can't see any features from Sango. Even the crowd is blurry, the background, you can't really see much. Everything is looking like a silhouette, right? I think this photo is really nice just because of the aesthetic of it looking, or almost feeling like a memory from someone's lens, right? I really like it a lot. It feels like it's a warm memory even outside of the lighting that we're getting in the venue. So I really liked it. I thought it was interesting. One of my favorite photos, despite it not being a photo that I think is worth advertising. I'm really a big fan of orange. Right now it's winter, so a lot of these warmer tones I just gravitate towards. I'm loving that I'm seeing a lot of orange on Sango, the brown, the greens, the reds. So I'm mixing really, really well. I think photos of the crowd are not photos that I gravitate towards, but they do matter. They do matter. So let's see. And these are not necessarily photos that I think are worthy of advertisement, but I just think they're interesting. Whether it be the frame, the color, the lighting, right? This photo in particular of Sango, I love that we can see the table. So all the wires, the computer, the board, and then the frame around him is what's kind of flushed out, right? With the lighting. The large flushed out item in the corner is a beverage, someone's drink. We have the people in the background that are flushed out as well due to the lighting on the very top of the photo. And then I think honestly my favorite photo of that night isn't even him during a performance. It's him after the performance, actually. When he got off stage, in the back passageway, you know, getting his flowers from those around him. And this photo right here was also the last photo I edited from the collection. I just really ended up liking the colors. I think it took me about 3 tries of tweaking and exporting to find the right color range that I liked for this. I'm liking the highlight on the jewelry. I'm liking the subtle yet deepness of the shadows. The colors are great. Once again, the highlight off the hat as well. Contrast, all of it I think is just working really well. I have to say this is my favorite photo of that event. It was a great time. I don't think I wouldn't have chosen any other way to celebrate my 25th birthday. And I'm very glad the opportunity even came up as well. This was, I think, an opportunity that mainly came my way due to, know the right people. I'm very appreciative of that coming my way. And I remember the next day was really fun actually. We woke up pretty early. We got coffee at a shop that was themed around 80s, 90s, just I think science fiction in general. I forget the name of the cafe, but went there. I had matcha, and that was the strongest tasting matcha I've ever had. Not only did I get matcha, I also ate cereal. I ordered cereal. I think I paid like $4 for it. Yes, I went out and paid $4 to be poured a bowl of cereal. You only live once, so I had to try it. I got Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I'm a big fan of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I'm not the biggest fan of cereal anymore though. Next to the shop is a record store that was closed until noon. So me and my friends pretty much hung around, smoked joints, drank coffee, talked shit. And then when the shop opened, we went in and found records. So, highlight, I actually was able to purchase Cowboy Bebop soundtrack. I currently don't have it here. I took it to a friend's house for us to listen to, and I left it there. May he be enjoying it and taking care of my baby. But we went in, and I was looking around specifically at the soundtracks because for a while now I have been looking for this vinyl. Yes, I could buy it online, but no, I really wanted to find it in person and purchase it. I knew I was looking around 40 to 50 bucks. Cool, I go in, I'm looking at the soundtracks, I don't find it. I'm even going through other categories. I don't really see anything I like. I was really mainly on the hunt for CDs too, but this was a vinyl shop. So cool, I don't find it. I tell my friends that. Somehow I ended up following my friend looping around one of the corners of one of the shelves. And I see that it said soundtracks, and I go, well, I didn't see this one, this like section. I'm gonna just look through it again. I'm gonna look through this. Long and behold, at the very end of that section was the vinyl for Cowboy Bebop soundtrack. I never pulled the trigger so fast on that. It was awesome. From there, we even hit some other stores. I was able to cop some CDs, and those I do have. So I got Sour by Olivia Rodrigo. We Still Don't Trust You by Metro Boomin and Future. Mother. What are the other albums that I got, man? Motomami by Rosalia. And honestly, I think that's all I can think of. I have the collection back there, but I'm not really going to get up and sift through that right now. So that's kind of what I remember I purchased, and it was a great time. And I think, honestly, that sums up my trip in Chicago, between eating, shopping spree for things I like. That was my trip to Chicago. I really enjoyed that time. I really enjoyed the photography I got to do. For the past several months, let's just say summertime, right? Have been using the Sony CyberShot to grab photography, and I haven't been using my Fuji X-T3, which is what I'm having propped up right now for grabbing this video. I haven't been using that, but on that day I finally got to use it again after months of not shooting. So it was super fun. It was a great muscle flexor for me. I even really enjoyed the difference in photo quality. As much as I love the handy dandiness of this small camera, I mean, the footage quality of that Fuji X-T3 cannot be beat for me. It was really fun to use that again and shoot. I don't know if there's really anything else I have to say about the time I had in Chicago with my friend. Thanks, chat, for being here, looking at my lens and hearing me out. I think I have more videos coming soon. As I did say, I did work with Sango on a previous project over the summertime. It was a collaboration between a restaurant here. I'm gonna go ahead and make a video on that actually pretty soon. I will be showcasing BTS photography and footage of that shoot. And I think that'll be really, really fun. So, okay, until next time. Bye, y'all.